Alright, welcome everybody. We are live. This is Zenith Online Racing. This is the EU tier here on Sunday evenings. I am Arbiga. Alongside me tonight, once more, is Sir Harry Hotspur.
It's good to be here, Bigga. Excited for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Right on. Yeah, I think we've done a few races together now. It's probably our third or fourth now. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think we're up to 4, maybe 3 on the EU side.
Just gonna bring up the stream, make sure everything's running smoothly. What do we got even the pits here? Looks like one of the Renaults or Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Red Bull Smitsky. Yes, it is. We'll get on board with Smitsky. Alright, everything looks nice and smooth. Just going to mute myself and check the audio real quick. Make sure it sounds alright. Obviously, I need to say something so that by the time I actually go to listen, there will actually be something for me to hear when I turn. Alright. I think we're
sounding good.
Yeah, I think we're okay. Just gonna double check the party audio. I think I may have adjusted it the other day. It did, yeah. So I'll switch that up a little bit. Game was just like a little too even with our voices. Usually we like to make sure we can be heard clearly. I think we're good now. Everything is set up, and it looks like Smitsky is probably our first driver out on a hot lap. He was the first one out on track, I believe.
So a lot of drivers out on the hards right now.
Yeah, it's something I think a lot of people like to do, get into a rhythm early in qualifying. See it quite often, both North American tiers and then obviously it's EU tier. It seems to happen in a lot of short qualifying sessions. Smitsky just starting his hot lap now. Turns up that ERS out on the hards. Obviously not expecting a fantastic lap because of that, but definitely expecting to see some pace and some gauge as to where the drivers are in relation to one another in pace. See Frank Lucas, the new driver, just getting out of the way there. He has just joined the league. He's a full-time reserve at the moment, so any points he scores, if he ends up in a seat in that tier later on, he'll keep the points he scores when driving as a reserve in them. So he definitely has something to fight for, even though he doesn't actually have a spot on the roster at the moment. But yeah, 18 cars here tonight, so missing 2 drivers. We couldn't get any reserves to fill in, and then we've got 1 reserve Frank. So 17 full-time guys here tonight. Pretty good. I think we're spoiled a little bit. We usually have 20 cars almost every race we run here, and then, you know, when we're down 1 or 2, it's kind of like, oh, you know, you kind of get bummed out. But it's like, I mean, where we've come from, really, like, it's fantastic to see how many drivers are out here consistently every week.
Especially at a track like Spain, even getting over 15 is pretty impressive.
Oh, there's Porter blocking the pit lane, it looks like. Somebody, a pink car there, spun, and Smitsky obviously sets the fastest lap. So, let's check in with that. Ooh, who's that? Spun back around as well. There's some other car. That's Beck spun.
And Toro also is off as well.
Yeah, looks like quite a few things gone wrong here. Zamaglis here. Didn't notice that he was in the lobby, actually. I don't think he had checked in, and neither did Beck. No, I didn't notice he was here. We haven't seen him in a while.
J. Cole is also off in the grab trap.
Fuzz here coming around to finish his first hard lap. We'll see what kind of time he puts up. A few of these guys with a couple of league races under their belt already today. Fuzz goes fastest with a 19.9. Let's get to that Ferrari ripping around. Is that GP? It is not. It is Ryan. Ryan just making his way around the final turn here. Puts up a 119 flat on the softs. He's not messing around, going straight for a soft lap. Lamaro puts in a 146. Not a great lap. Obviously just a bit of a warm-up. Is that J. Cole? Just crossed the line as well. No, it wasn't. That was Gilzo that crossed the line. Get
It's a
back.
pretty impressive lap from Johannes there.
Yeah, let's see what Frank can do here. Frank's going to put his first hot lap on the board here on the softs. See what kind of time he can put up. Looking at a 120.5 from Frank. So edges out a couple drivers on the hards, but obviously on the soft compound you'd want to be higher up the grid. As we mentioned, he's new to the league. Probably just kind of finding his feet at the moment. Trying his best to stay out of people's way. He was doing well to stay out of Zenith's way there. Kind of sitting right on the racing line there, going slow though. Not a great spot. You'd almost rather be on the inside of the track there, because cars drift wide. Oh, and he goes off into the gravel. So Frank not having a great showing out here on his first league race with us. He definitely seems to get the rules, and he understands the point of it, but he's obviously a little too distracted by the cars around him on track. And now it looks like he's, yeah, okay, he's stayed out of the way there. He's clear now. Now he can make it back safely. He doesn't have to worry too much. All right, the adventures of Frank the Tank early in his first race here. Nice to see. Gilzo has invalidated that lap. It won't count. Let's get to that Ferrari. That's GP Colin. GP Colin just about to start a hot lap. He's had some pretty good races this year in Tier 2. So, looks like he's actually still working the tires, and he isn't really pushing at the moment. So,
see him, I can't really tell what tire he's on. My telemetry is showing me a soft, but I think he's on the mediums.
Zenith probably starting another push lap now. No, it doesn't look like he's pushing. There's Smitsky. And then that would be Rob. Rob actually has moved into a full-time seat now. So Rob scored quite a few points. Oh, Rob's off. Big moment for Rob there. And he's spun right around, almost hits the wall. Manages to stop it just in time. Now he's going to get himself turned around. A precarious position. Very quick car coming up behind. But yeah, Rob scored quite a few points this season as a reserve. So now he's taking a seat. And he will bring those points with him into the championship hunt. So he's definitely got a lot to fight for early in his career as a full-time driver.
Yeah, for sure. Interestingly, the two Renaults, which are normally at the top of the pack, seem to be struggling on the hards right now. We got Gilzo coming around there to finish a hot lap. Or perhaps now he's starting a flying lap.
Yeah, it looks like he's on a push lap now. He doesn't have his DRS open, though, so can't be pushing too hard. Yeah. Unless it's broken, maybe. GP heading into the pits. Zamoglis coming around. Zenith, that's Zenith coming around. Doesn't improve his time. Looking, he's going on a push lap now, Zenith. We've got a Racing Point crossing the line. Was that RC? No, that would have been General Porter. So General Porter's starting a hot lap, it looks like. He's got some traffic up ahead of him on the map as well. Zenith runs a bit wide there. He's invalidated, so let's jump to General Porter. We'll ride on board with his hot lap. See how he does here. Definitely needs to get a time.
Through, sector 1.
Yep.
Oh,
huge moment.
Oh, no.
Huge moment. Porter's trying to get it turned around. Actually does well to get that car rotated pretty well. Yeah. And it's just parked himself in a terrible spot now. Oh, right in the way of that Toro Rosso. That's not going to help. Who would that have been?
Rob. That would have been Rob.
Yeah.
Looks like he is on a hot lap as well.
Yeah, he's on the hards, though, so obviously it's not going to be his major lap of the session, but it'll still be frustrating nonetheless. Not sure how much it affected him, but he definitely had to be cautious.
Looks like we have Ryan coming around to start his hot lap. He's going to be on the sauce, so we're going to start to see those times coming down here.
Left my window open. Just realized something like a noisy car or motorcycle went by or something. It's a nice day here.
Yeah. Is it a nice day up there in Canada?
It sure is actually. It was about 10 degrees and sunny today. I didn't really make much use of it, but
throw me the Fahrenheit with that one.
I don't know, like 60.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, it might be warmer than down here.
Like almost t-shirt weather. I don't know.
Right on the
like
the
after winter, I think it's t-shirt weather. In the middle of summer, it's not t-shirt weather.
Ah, yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, let's find someone to watch here. Got a little distracted
Ryan's
thinking
on
about
pickup lap right now. Looks like we're purple through one.
Ryan has actually set the fastest lap here so far with a
Yeah.
119 flat. Yeah, he has gone up on his first sector, so we'll see what kind of time he gets here through the second sector. He's looking to improve again. Up another tenth and a half or so, so he can find a couple more tenths here. He can put himself in a decent spot. We're going to see some pretty quick times coming onto the board over the next few minutes, though, I think. So Ryan definitely needs to find a bit more time if he wants this to stick near the top. There's a lot of people struggling for grip out there today, though. You never really know.
It does seem like, especially through this quick turns, that
18.6 for Ryan, so that's a pretty good time. Let's see if that holds up.
Bad. Got time to come around for another run as
Is
well.
that J. Cole on a run? It is. J. Cole with a 19.6 on the hards. Wow, that's put him into second. There's a second off Ryan, which is obviously to be expected given two compound softer tire difference.
Yeah, I suppose the Renault boys heard me talking about their slower paces. Picked it up quite a bit.
Porter looks like he's on a cool down lap. And we got a Mercedes. Sorry, it's not a Mercedes. That would be a Williams. Frank Lucas. Looks like he's just finishing a hot lap. He's not having a very good time though. He's definitely going to need to take another run. Probably has time to get into the pits and then get a fresh set of boots on there. Smitsky coming through the final sector now. He's up 5/10 according to the timing chart there. Let's see if he can make it stick and actually improve into the top 5 here. Oh, 120.2, so he doesn't break into the 119s. It looked like he had the potential. GP.
Might need to throw some sauce on there.
That'll be Ryan heading into the pits. We've got a Renault going very slow. Is that J. Cole has lost it, or is perhaps just slowed down? And we've got a Ferrari off. Is that GP? GP has gone off and hit the barrier. He's had a big moment there. That uphill right-hander is so deadly. You see the Williams in the background hitting that corner perfectly. That would probably be Frank. It is Frank. He's down on his previous lap, so really needs to find
a lot of battery left.
no, he really needs to find a little bit more in this final sector if he wants to improve. If I were him, I'd head into the pits though.
Take a look at the top of the table here. We got back on mediums, edging
Ooh.
Ryan by a tenth.
That's a big lap. Big lap from Beck. Edging him out on the harder compound, the medium. We've got RC coming around to start a hot lap. We'll check in with him shortly. We'll see if Smitsky's on a push lap here. It looks like he is. No, he's not. Actually, he's heading into the pits. Coxie? Coxie starting his hot lap as well. Let's get back to RC. After we check in with these Toro Rossos, Lamar on an out lap. And Rob also on an out lap. So RC probably our first
RC
flyer.
RC just invalidated. Came around a little bit too wide for turn 3.
Right, so no good for him. Smitsky, he's on a push lap. Let's see what he can do in the first sector here. He's up a tenth and a half on his previous time, and that will be good enough for the top 6 if he can add another tenth or two. So Smitsky, potential here to move up. We'll ride on board with Smitsky and see how he does to wrap up his hot lap here. And then we will check in with the two Toro Rossos behind, Lamaro and Rob, who are also on push laps. A little hesitant there by Smitsky on the throttle and the exit there, yeah. But he goes purple in the second sector.
About 2.5 tenths.
And probably can find another tenth or two in this final sector. Maybe put himself into 6th. Now it's going to be quite the ask to get into the top 5 here. As you see, the 119.6. Johannes and Gilzo separating Fuzz a bit. And he just tucks in behind Johannes and ahead of Fuzz, so good call. I think I called that.
That Cox team, wow.
Lamaro, 119.8 for Lamaro on the mediums. Let's check in with Rob. Let's see what he can. He's validated his lap, unfortunately. We've got a Renault behind. That's Gilzo, or it's J. Cole, sorry. J. Cole just starting his hot lap. Let's check in with J. Cole. He's out on the medium tire, starting his flyer. Let's see what he can put on the board here. We'll ride on board with J. Cole around this lap of Spain. Very tidy through the first couple turns here. Carrying a lot of speed up the hill. That momentum carrying him outwards, but keeps the grip perfectly. Doesn't drift too wide. Yeah, uses just enough track there. Swings it around in the hairpin. Bit of a tricky corner, but uses all the track on the maximum throttle as long as he can be. This looks like it could be a very good lap from J. Cole. Did miss his first sector time. I didn't see what he put up.
Looks like he's down.
So approaching traffic ahead. Both these guys have finished their hot laps, so they'll need to be out of the way. J. Cole coming down the racing line. Who was that that moved out of his way? Rob did well. Purple in the second sector for J. Cole. He's up 8.5 tenths. So this is going to be a big lap from J. Cole if he can put this up on the board. Is he going to be able to catch Jinnit at 1:18.4 though? I missed Jinnit's hot lap there. He's put in a 1:18.4. Let's see what J. Cole can do. He needs to find a few more tenths in this final sector if he wants to catch that time.
Quite nice to the final chicane there.
Here it goes, 1:18.4, and he's just behind Jinnit. Jinnit edges him out by 200ths. Great lap from Jinnit there. He's hung on to pole position.
Yeah.
Let's see on the final runs here if anybody can edge out Jinnit on pole there on the medium tire. That's an excellent lap from Jinnit. To be really happy with that after the disappointment last week. Is that Porter? No, it is not. Who is running?
The Gilzo might be on a hot lap right now.
It looks like one of the pink cars just started one. Gilzo on a flyer. Yes, it looks like he is. Let's get on board with Gilzo. He's purple in the second sector. He's up 6 tenths. That will put him at a 1:19 flat at the moment, which is not going to be enough. He needs to find some more time here. Let's see what Gilzo can do. Perfect through that final chicane, carrying a lot of momentum into the final turn here. This looks like it could be a really good time. 18.3 from Gilzo. He takes provisional pole. Edges him out by 300ths. Excellent lap there.
That was an insane last sector from Gilzo there. That obviously gained a lot of time.
And J. Cole jumps Gilzo. Wow, great lap from J. Cole there. Let's check in with that McLaren behind. Is that Fuzz? It is. Starting his hot lap, so we'll jump back to him shortly.
Did J. Cole run back-to-back hot laps there?
It looked like he did. Yeah. Something he seems to do well on those mediums. Let's check in with the racing points. It's RC heading into the pit lane. Is General Porter putting a lap up? General Porter looks like he is on a lap. It's too slow, though. He will not improve, so
he's starting
going for another run. We'll check in with that Williams. Looks like a few guys have parked it for the rest of the session. Johannes off. He is off the road. I don't know if he's on a cooldown lap. Looks like he may be just getting out of the way for Ryan there. Ryan on a flyer. It looks like he needs to find a bit more time if he wants to improve. He's sitting in 6 on those soft tires right now. Not a great spot to be in. He's flying around that final corner. Is this going to be enough for Ryan to improve? He improves, but doesn't really gain. I don't know. I think that lap may have not counted. It looked like it was slightly slower than his previous run. And we've got Gilzo.
10, so it looks like.
Yeah, it doesn't improve either. Is that Beck on a flyer? No, it is not. It is Bag of Bones. He's heading into the pits. J. Cole will be on a cooldown lap. Fuzz on a flyer. Fuzz is on a flyer. He does not have anything on the board yet on this medium. Let's see what he can do. This could be it for Fuzz. This is a strong track for him. No, 18.9 for Fuzz. Oof, that's a rough lap. It looked like it was going to be better than that.
That's an unfortunate position. You definitely
Frank diving
11th,
in.
But,
I believe Porter.
Like
Porter is up. It looks like he's on a flyer. He's the last hot lap out there. Let's see what he can do here. He runs really deep there. Gets a lot of momentum. Rides that curb nicely. Runs deep again. Is it going to count? It does. 18.6 for Porter. Jumps into 5th. So. I think that's it.
He's got 3 laps up his softs. It looks like.
No, it's not bad. But
data.
Definitely would be disappointed with that performance and quality for sure. He definitely had a bit more time there. He was a little untidy on the final few corners, so Probably could have edged out Beck and maybe put himself into a pocket. But that is a very tight top three there. J. Cole obviously comes through on his second run and edges them out by about a tenth. But prior to that, Gilzo, Jinnit, all both within hundreds of each other.
One interesting thing at the beginning of the race here is it looks like J. Cole and Gilzo have some extra laps on their medium, whereas Jinnit only put 1 lap down. So he should have some fresher tires coming out of the gate there.
Yeah, we'll see how he does on the formation lap. Could warm his tires nicely and get a good launch. And yeah, Jinnit poised for a very good race tonight. If he can keep it clean through the first few laps, he might do quite well here. Excellent qualifying from him, especially on those medium tires for sure.
Yeah. See what happens. He's got some ground to make up in the standings behind J. Cole. So, and also we have our 3rd place in the standings, Adri, all the way down to 18.
Oh,
looks like
Rob
he might have crashed out.
Rob has picked up a 5-place grid penalty there. It looks like, and I wonder what that was for. Most of the time, it's not really warranted, but the unfortunate thing about these league races, like, you don't have the turnaround time. We do have external stewarding to correct situations like this, but we don't have the turnaround time in qualifying to actually review something like that and adjust for it. So it's one of those things when people get grid penalties in qualifying in this game, it's usually not justified and they kind of just have to live with it. It's a really unfortunate aspect to it. Now, even more frustrating for Rob is he qualified in the top 10, so he's going to have to start on those tires, and we'll be starting like 13th as well or something.
That'll be a long one for him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stinger for sure. Chat's quiet tonight.
It is. Probably because Fuzz is on the track, so he can't be in chat with us.
You got one in. He said I wasn't allowed to let you shit talk him tonight, and I was like, man, okay. Harry's a bad man. I can't control that guy. He just says whatever he wants. So yeah, I don't know. No weather updates. That's because Arrow's not racing. That's why.
Yeah.
All right, let's review the order from qualifying here. Now that the grid is set for the race, it's J. Cole on pole position. Gilzo, his teammate, in second. These two duking it out so far this season. Gilzo coming out on the short end of the stick for the most part. He definitely needs to win this race tonight and gain something on J. Cole. He's got to hope someone takes J. Cole out. Not intentionally, but he really does need to get a big point finish here and hope J. Cole doesn't score much, and that can kind of give him a little bit of optimism over the next few races. But yeah, this is round 4, and this is the EU tier, so obviously our other tiers moving into, I don't know, what round are we into this week? Round 10 now?
4? Oh, for tier 1?
Well, this is round 4 for EU. I think
remember. Round 10, yeah, that might be right.
Yeah.
We're pretty close to the midsummer break.
It might be round 9, but either way.
We're on round 9.
Yeah. Round 9. So this week's round 9, we just did round 8.
Yeah.
These guys are on round 4. Alright. Again, Jinnit, 3rd. Good qualifying from him. Beck in 4th. Let's check the tires. Let's get all that information up. We will bring up the telemetry shortly once the race starts. Just leave that off for now so we can get a better view of everything. Beck in 4th. Porter in 5th. Ryan is in 6th. Cox is in 7th. Fuzz in 8th. RC's in 9th. Zamoglis in 10th. He's been absent for the last few races in every tier he's in, but he's back. Let's see what he can do tonight. Johannes in 11th, Snitsky in 12th, Lamaro 13th, Frank Lucas 14th, Begabones 15th, GP Collins 16th, Adri 17th, and Rob in 18th. How did he end up all the way down in 18th?
I don't know. He must have had a retirement at some point. I saw his indicator flash that he was retiring. I'm not sure if he crashed or...
Alright, let's get back to the front. J. Cole sliding into his grid box on pole position, and Gilzo lining up alongside him. Poised for a very good race here in the EU tier in round 4 of Zenith Online Racing. Let's get those lights on. Let's get this race underway. Alright, we've got the lights on. We've got all 5 lights on. And they're off. Quick release there from the race director. Gilzo gets a very good start. Looks like he's got a better launch than his teammate. He slides down the inside. I think Gilzo's got him here. J. Cole is under threat from Jinnit, but Gilzo down the inside. I think Gilzo around the outside now. They're side by side through turn 1 and 2. Oh, it's crazy. Gilzo's got him here. Gilzo has the edge. He can take this lead. Oh, Fuzz is off. That's so unfortunate.
Oh, no.
Gilzo, great jump off the start there, and a safety car already. So Gilzo gets the position, and he'll be able to hold it now with the safety car. Porter in third, and Jinnit has gone all the way to 13th. What happened there?
I don't know. So I think Jinnit was on the inside of Porter, and I think he may have gotten sideways or spun, and then Ryan and Fuzz got collected and all of that.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
But
at least it's a safety car to help out the guys that got caught up in crap. Ryan went to down 11 positions. You can see the position changes here. Frank Lucas in his debut has gained 6 places. He's up into 8th already here, so good start from Frankie. General Porter gained a couple places. Oxy gained a couple places. RC gained a few places, and Zamaglos as well. Yeah, Frank already a fan favorite in this league. He came in, just showed up and invited himself in, kicked the door down. Frank the Tank showed up. Everyone was wondering where he came from, and he was just dropping jokes and shows up to race. So, let's see what Frank can do tonight. Yeah,
this is going to be interesting for General Porter. Opportunity to cool his tires. Oh, Coxie, is he coming in for the hards now? Oh, we just got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit.
That's unfortunate. Coxie,
especially
in the pits. Ryan and Fuzz as well. So everybody ever involved in that incident, diving into the pit lane, getting new wings, fresh boots, and Coxie released right into Jinnit there, but Jinnit obviously getting a wing change is going to be held up for quite a bit. Very unfortunate start to this race for these 3 drivers. Quite formidable in Tier 1, usually fighting amongst the top 5, and all sitting 16th, 17th, 18th right now, so that'll be frustrating for them. But we do know what they're capable of, and it could be a very interesting race with those guys coming from the back of the field. Keep an eye on everything. Yeah, it's going to be exciting
to watch them make their way back up.
Note that Zamaglos has gained 4 places. He is up in 6th on his return. He's been absent for a few weeks. Sent out into the ocean. No means of communication. We didn't know if he was alive or dead. He is back. He is racing. He is Zem, a.k.a. Gomez. And I bet you he's having a grand old time out there on track tonight.
We just had Smitsky and someone else picked up a 5-second penalty in a safety car for exceeding track limits.
Yes, that is something we were discussing today in the steward chat, and something that we're struggling to really give leeway on. It's just very silly to be running off the track under a safety car.
It is,
and the game usually it's just tough. I mean, if someone does something stupid in front of you and you have to avoid them and you get a penalty, that's one thing. But like, if you're just not paying attention, it's kind of on you. Regardless, those things are under review, and they can be reviewed, and they will be if you submit them. So, if you have an issue with it, go ahead and submit it. Nice angle here on the Racing Point front wing of RC. Riding into the final turn here, all these drivers tucked in behind the safety car. The 2 Williams drivers riding back-to-back, Frank, Lucas, and Johannes. Frank, not the actual driver in Williams, but filling in tonight. And Johannes will be disappointed to see his reserve teammate ahead of him on track, so he'll have something to say about that, hopefully, and maybe stick his nose in and try to make up a place there. Frank Lucas edging him out and gaining 7 places at this point of the race. So excellent start for Frankie boy.
Yeah, he's having a good run for his first time out here.
Yeah, for sure.
Not,
I mean, he hasn't hit anybody or done anything stupid, so that's a pretty good start. That's pretty much all we ask. You know, you don't have to be a fantastic driver, but just don't be an idiot. That's pretty much all we want. So let's see.
That start looked like it was quite kind of agery. I'm curious to see what is going to happen with him as he picks his way through the field.
True. I didn't really notice that Adri, as far as I know, the lone Spaniard in the field tonight at his home race, starting in a terrible position, has gained 5 places up into 12th. And check out the tire information. We'll see what everybody is on. Adri on the hards in 12th. He actually might be poised for a very good race if he can make up a couple more places over the next few laps here. So Gilzo will retake the pace of the field. The safety car will pull away ever so slowly. And Gilzo will lead us back to the green flags, and we will be racing once more with General Porter knocking at the door in the top two on those soft tires. How much longer can he go? Can he jump these two drivers? Can Gilzo defend J. Cole? Will he get an edge on the restart? I think he's almost clear to go whenever he feels now, and see if he can get himself an advantage over J. Cole here. Gilzo puts the hammer down. J. Cole on his tail. I don't think Gilzo got a very good exit there. J. Cole is very close. Could threaten into the first turn here, but I don't think it's quite on. General Porter is very close to J. Cole as well. Oh, carrying that extra traction, goes very deep into the turn one, and he almost runs off the road, but manages to get it together. So General Porter in a position to go and fight that back. Beck lost a bit of time to Porter ahead, and RC is all over the back of Beck here. Let's see if RC can find a way through. He's peeking down the inside through the hairpin here. Don't think he's close enough. Let's check in behind. We've got Smitsky and Lamaro side by side through the hairpin, and Smitsky's taking that place. Let's get back to Frank and Johannes. They're very close as well. Johannes looking for a way through on his reserve teammate. He's side by side. Can he get it done? Johannes does. Frank goes very deep, and Johannes gets the move done. So Frank under threat here. And RC now looking for a way through on Beck after pulling out a bit of a gap to Zimagos behind. So Johannes now going to chase down Zimagos, looking at the gearbox of the Alfa Romeo ahead and hoping he can close that gap down and get away from his teammate Frank. Frank will be in a little bit of a buffer role now. He's got Bag of Bones on the hards behind. He might be able to keep him behind for a little bit longer, but Frank seems to be struggling with the pace at the moment. Lamaro is tucked in very close behind Smitsky, and all three of these cars are following Frank Lucas quite closely. Whoa, somebody off there. Who is that? GP has had a huge incident. Wow. Fuzz does incredible to avoid him there. That was lightning reaction. Unbelievable. That could have been the end of the race for Fuzz. Excellent job to avoid him.
That was very impressive by Fuzz there. I just cut to him.
GP. GP just struggling with the grip tonight. He's had a few moments. Jinnit all over the back of Coxey here. Has way more traction into the hairpin. Can he get this move done? They bang wheels.
Ooh, and again.
Jinnit begging for a bit more space. Gives a little nudge to Coxey to the outside and takes that place. I think that's fair game. Coxey dives down the inside to try and take the place back, and Jinnit runs a bit deep, so Coxey fights it back. Excellent driving from these two here. Coxey fights that back. Good job from Coxey. I thought he was done for there. Jinnit had the better line. Coxey dives down the inside,
back at him down the straightaway.
Yeah, Jinnit's going to have that advantage down the straight here. No DRS yet because of the safety car just ending, but the next lap, he might have a shot here. Jinnit sends it late. Oh. They give space. Whoa, good job from Coxey to leave the space there. And then Jinnit down the inside. They bump. Oh!
No. Coxey's going around.
Coxey. He was close. He was really fighting that back. I don't really know. I think Jinnit had kind of got the edge on him there, and maybe Coxey was time to let it go a little bit. He just kind of he got loose on the grass there. I don't really know if there was much he could do once he ended up on the grass, but Jinnit had taken that place.
I think Coxey went a little bit deep into a turn where
you see Bag of Bones looking at Frank Lucas ahead, and Lamaro very close to Smitsky. Yeah, interesting. We'll take a look at that after the race, obviously, but unfortunate incident there between Jinnit and Coxey. I think that's some pretty hard racing overall. I don't really think anybody's done anything terribly wrong there. Someone was bound to come out on the short end of that with the way they were driving, so can't really blame either driver. Look at this scrap we've got here for 7th place. Sorry, for 9th place. Bag of Bones under threat from Smitsky, Lamaro, Adri, Rob, Jinnit as well. All three of these drivers looking for a way through. They're very close, all three with DRS. Adri down the inside on Lamaro. He puts Lamaro on the edge of the circuit. Yeah, and Adri makes an excellent overtake there. I think that's fair game. He pushes him right to the edge of the track and makes sure he gets the move done. Definitely not too far, in my opinion. Beck has DNF. He is out. He has lost it going into the pit. Oh, what has happened there for Beck? We have another safety car. Another safety car.
Someone Was that Adri who snuck into the pits? He saw Beck sitting on the inside of the track and took advantage.
So Adri into the pits, Jinnit into the pits. Good call from those two drivers. They're not going to lose much under the safety car here. The safety car didn't get out to collect the pack yet. I don't think it has.
No, it has not.
No, it's pulled over at the side of the track right now. It looks like these cars are going through. You're going to be careful. Watch out for that safety car. Coxie, watch it. Sometimes the safety car just likes to park. See? Yeah, it almost got him. It almost got him. Oh, that was close. All right, Coxie. Did Coxie have wing damage from that moment he had? I don't think so. He just spun, eh? So staying out might not be a terrible decision. Might be okay for him for a bit. But yeah, it's an interesting race now. Gilzo's still maintaining that lead. We got so caught up with all the action at the back. We didn't really pay attention to what was going on there, but Gilzo has not yielded the lead to J. Cole yet. So just what Gilzo needs. He's got to hope that J. Cole gets a little desperate, pushes a little too hard, and makes a mistake, and then Gilzo can close that gap in the championship a little bit.
Coxie, drive-through penalty.
It's unfortunate. You really got to watch those deltas and the speeding in the pit lane and stuff. That stuff is deadly in a league race, you know?
It is.
It's just very preventable.
What's Porter going to do here? Is he going to pit? He is. Oh, the leaders are all coming in.
We have 14 people tuned in, and we still only have one comment. Is anybody out there? Hello? Is this thing on? Oh, the Renault's double stacked. Jet's going to cost J. Cole heavily. Gilzo gets a massive advantage there. J. Cole is ruined. Awful news from
finally
J. Cole.
coming out on top.
There we go. That's exactly what Gilzo needed. Gilzo in 9th. Well, J. Cole is relegated to... Is he going to lose another spot? No, he is relegated to 14th. So Gilzo splits the gap to J. Cole massively, with a lot of cars between that will not be stopping anytime soon. The medium runners will probably going at least another 6 to 7 laps, while the hard runners will probably be going quite a bit longer. Hello, people are there. Double stack. Chat is quiet when Gilzo and Fuzz aren't there to cheer on Coxie. Simon G. I still don't know who this is, Simon G. He pops in and leaves comments, though. I'm not too sure who it is. Maybe someone that knows these guys just doesn't race with us. I'm not too sure. But 16 people tuned in now, so hopefully a few more people will drop some comments in there. This is our second...
It's Bobby. Bobby Taven.
It's Bobby, okay. What up, Bobby? Yeah, a few... It's our second safety car, and it's lap 8, so obviously not what you're hoping to see, but nothing too terrible. Just Beck is DNF so far, and everybody else still on the lead lap, so once the safety car period is over, we'll be back to sort of a clean slate race. Obviously, you're going to see the top 8 all on 7-lap-old tires, some of them medium, some of them hards. Gilzo on the fresh hards in 9th is sitting in a prime position strategy-wise. He has Fuzz behind, sort of playing that buffer role. Will anybody else dive into the pits here under the safety car? I don't know.
Curious. Adri came in for a second stop on the safety car, put the hards on. I wonder if he's trying to...
He's probably thinking go to the end. Yeah, he's already at the back of the field. You might as well put them on and go to the end of the race, really, right? Like, you're already... What was he, 14th?
Yeah.
What's the difference? 16th. Get on the hards, go to the end.
Yeah, on the mediums.
Not a bad idea. So, yeah, interesting mix of strategies here. J. Cole has gained a couple, I think he had a couple guys pit behind him, so J. Cole gained another place or two there. Still 4 spots behind his teammate Gilzo, and he's got Fuzz, Coxie, and Porter. Porter on fresh hards. He was in 3rd, so this worked out well for Porter. He was on those soft tires, and now is sitting, I think, after the pit stops. It'll be hard to say because of the field spread, and these guys are sitting 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th right now. After the race restarts, the field spread will sort of compromise those strategies a little bit, but we would assume that given the pace of Gilzo, J. Cole, and Porter, that Porter probably is still sitting a net 3rd at the moment.
I would think so.
You would think, but it's hard to say. It really depends on how long some of these guys at the front stay out. Like Johannes and Zamagwas are in a pretty good spot. RC...
looks like Jinnit has made a nice recovery as well. He'd be sitting around a net 4th. Obviously, if he can keep up with guys in front of him, he'll be sitting in a good spot.
The safety car is in this lap. RC becomes the pseudo safety car, leading the pace of the pack here. Johannes in second, Zamagos in third, and Frank Lucas in fourth. So Frank Lucas running fourth in his debut as a full-time reserve driver. So I'm sure he'd be happy to see that.
Yeah, good run. He kept his nose clean. Might be in line for some points if he continues to keep it clean like he has been. And we're off. RC gets a great start. Zem is falling behind quite a bit, though.
Yeah, Zem has not had a very good start there, where Johannes is all over the back of RC here into turn one. Zem has lost quite a bit of ground. Frank under pressure from Bones, and Smitsky pressuring Bones. Rob and Lamaro fighting behind. See if either of these drivers can gain an advantage. J. Cole and Coxey. J. Cole has made it through. He has. J. Cole has made it through on Coxey on the restart. Excellent restart for J. Cole, just what he needed. Only 2 cars between him and his teammate now. So he's doing some damage control, and it seems to be paying off at the moment. It looks like Gilzo is really looking for a way through here on Rob and Lamaro. He really needs to split the field between him and his teammate J. Cole. And he finds a way through quickly. He could end up in a really good spot here. He's going to have a run down this street. If he can get a really good exit on Rob here, he might have a chance with that double slipstream. No, he's not going to be close enough.
No.
And now he is under threat from Fuzz behind as well. So Gilzo are going to start losing time to the cars ahead. Well, stuck behind the 2 Toro Rossos. But, whoa, big of a moment there from Gilzo. It takes the pylon with him.
He should have some very good traction relative to the guys in front of him coming out of this last
Yeah,
turn, though.
you got to think the hards at racing speeds need about 2 or 3 laps to really get into their prime. So I think over the next lap or two, Gilzo will come to life a bit. J. Cole is really pressuring General Porter behind. He's not going to be able to find a way through. So you see this snake here held up by a bag of bones. We've got Smitsky, Lamaro, Rob, Gilzo, Fuzz, General Porter, J. Cole, all tucked in very closely, all looking for ways through here. Bit of a lag there between Gilzo and Rob. Can Gilzo find a way through? He's on the outside of Rob here. He sends it on the outside, bump wheels. And that nearly sends Gilzo off the road, but he recovers nicely. No damage for either driver there, I don't think. But that was close. Gilzo almost had him.
He did. Yeah. Probably could have been afforded a little bit more space, but I guess it didn't look like there was any damage, so...
No, it was a bit untidy, but I don't think anything illegal by any means.
Yeah.
But if you
tight.
look how close these drivers are all running to each other, something is bound to happen sooner or later. The DRS will release some of these quicker cars, but right now, a very interesting scrap for 5th place here. Bag of Bones losing ground to Frank Lucas ahead, which is interesting to note, as Bag of Bones on the hards.
Oh, Rob got very loose. I think Gilzo's going to have him here.
Gilzo is going around the outside of Rob. He's going to have him clean into turn 1
Fuzz has wrecked. Oh, no, Fuzz.
Fuzz has binned it. Unfortunate for Fuzz. He was in a good spot there, running well. Must have just had a big moment on the exit there. Let's get to Coxey's view and see if we can see the stricken car of Fuzz. The car is gone, so Fuzz gets away with that one. Rob gets away with it getting caught anyway. Rob still over the back of Gilzo, who has not found a way through on Lamaro yet, but he did get by Rob, and that's what he needed. He's put another car between him and his teammate J. Cole. J. Cole, tucked in behind General Porter, really needs to find a way through, but General Porter is a direct racing rival for him tonight, so once the field spreads a little bit and Gilzo gets into clear air, he could start making up a lot of time here if Porter can manage to keep J. Cole behind for a little bit longer. We do think J. Cole probably has the pace advantage overall, but with the DRS train ahead, it's going to be hard for J. Cole to find a way through on Porter.
Definitely at this track where it's just generally hard to pass even without the train. But when you get that train going, it can be near impossible.
Gilzo very close to the back of Lamaro here. Can he find a way through on this straight? I think the DRS will be activated this lap now. Let's get that telemetry up. We do have DRS active now. It is. Smitsky close. I don't think any of these drivers close enough to take a look, though. Smitsky is very close to the back of Frank here.
You can tell the medium runners are starting to really struggle on those tires right now. They're sliding a lot.
Yeah, they're getting very
Which
loose.
actually brought Johannes up to the rear of RC for the lead.
Which is interesting to note, because the field spread behind... You know what, though? Really, the field spread behind isn't terribly massive. Look at every driver. Between Johannes to Bones is a 5-second gap, but everyone behind Bones is within a second of each other. All the way down to 13th place. So we have a very close fight here in Spain in the EU tier. Just what we expected. Gilzo and J. Cole out of position at the moment due to varying strategies and safety cars, but Gilzo has an advantage here. He's down the outside. Barely any track left for him. Can he get it done? He sends it very deep on the brakes.
Oh.
Goes very deep on the outside. I think he gets that move done, though.
He does.
Just what he needed. Lamaro tried to squeeze him out, but Gilzo ultimately had the grip and went around the outside and got it done. That is perfect for Gilzo. He's now got Lamaro, Rob, and Porter between him and J. Cole. This is exactly what Gilzo needs. And now Gilzo, yeah, he's all over the back of Smitsky here. Can he get by Smitsky? He might even get by Frank here, too, because Frank does not have DRS. Gilzo has a massive pace advantage over both drivers. This could be a double overtake for Gilzo into turn 1. Can he get it done? This will be massive for Gilzo if he gets it done. And J. Cole has found a way through on Porter and Rob. Massive moment for J. Cole there. He needed to find a way through, and he did. Now he's only got Frank and Smitsky between him and Gilzo. Gilzo did a massive overtake to pass 2 cars, and J. Cole did the exact same thing to keep the gap between him and Gilzo at a minimum. Wow, this is excellent driving between these two rivals here, scrapping it out for the win tonight and trying to gain the edge in the championship. J. Cole with a massive advantage right now. He's got a huge points lead, and he really needs to... minimize the damage. If Gilzo wins this race, he wants to be second, and the best way he can do that right now is to get by Frank Lucas and ultimately Smitsky ahead, and then he can start chasing his rival Gilzo down the inside. An incredible amount more grip than Frank, and he just goes straight down the inside, barges his way through. Smitsky is a sitting duck at this point. J. Cole will make quick work of him down the main straight, I presume. Gilzo already
hits.
Gilzo already with a 1.4 second lead over Smitsky. So he's broken the DRS to his teammate J. Cole behind. Smitsky dives into the pits. That releases J. Cole. But Gilzo has broken the DRS to his teammate J. Cole, and that is huge. He's now closing in on Bag of Bones. He should be able to catch Bag of Bones quite nicely. Will he catch Johannes over the next few laps? Probably, perhaps. Depends how long Johannes is going to run. I feel Johannes will probably pit before... Well, Frank Lucas scrapping with Porter here. Goes very deep and sends Jinnit down the inside. Jinnit has a chance to fight on Frank Lucas now as well. And Adri around the outside of Ryan. And he's not getting it done. Ryan down the inside there. Sorry, Adri did get it done around the outside. Ryan lost the traction on the inside. Jinnit has not found a way through on Frank Lucas yet. Huge scraps through the field here. RC around the outside on GP Colin. Unbelievable move from RC there. He's still fighting his way around the outside. GP comes across the car. RC has to yield. Oh, GP runs very wide there. Excellent job from GP to defend that. Frank Lucas and Jinnit barges his way through. Frank Lucas on the outside of the track in compromised position. Adri, Frank go wheel to wheel. Adri looking for a way through. He needs to keep up with Jinnit here. This is non-stop action here in the EU tier. This has been an excellent race so far. The safety car is obviously not something we want to see every couple laps, but oh, Frank Lucas, is he going into the pits? Wow, it looked like he had lost the car there, but dives into the pits. Frank, wow. Excellent debut from Frank.
Up into second right now.
Gilzo has passed Bag of Bones. It's so hard to keep up. There's so much going on.
Yes, it's... I feel like I can't even figure out which battle to watch right now.
No, it's hard to tell, but J. Cole, Bag of Bones are very close to Gilzo here, so J. Cole has really not lost much time to Gilzo, despite Gilzo's efforts to try and separate himself from his teammate with all the traffic there. But ultimately now Gilzo 7 seconds off of Johannes. Johannes in an excellent spot here, running on those hard tires. He can go a little bit longer, and he can probably put on a nice fresh set of mediums to go to the end of the race. And with that field spread behind, we'll probably be sitting in a great points position and in a spot to fight and gain a few more places at the end.
Yeah, I definitely think so. He might be sitting around 7th, 8th in there, because Ryan is going to have to pit again. And obviously Zem will have to pit. So Johannes is sitting in a great position at the moment.
Yeah, J. Cole very close to Bag of Bones here. I think he's going to get him down the main street easy. Should be a done deal for him as long as he gets a pretty solid exit here. And we will move on to another battle as J. Cole and Gilza will likely be having a little bit of a gap battle for the next few laps until the end of the race, and then we'll see who's got the battery and who's got the tire life to close it down.
Got Zenith making a run on Porter possible here with DRS.
There it is. Zenith very close, but not close enough. That helicopter view sees him take a peek, but doesn't get it done. So J. Cole now has to work that gap down to his teammate. We'll stick with Zenith. RC and Zamoglis very close here. RC down the inside on Zem into turn 1. He's got the traction. He's got the move done. Let's get back to Zenith. Zenith will be looking to fight General Porter ahead. Can he find a way through? Lamaro is very close to Rob, and so is Coxie. Let's get to this battle quickly.
Interesting. I mean, Becca, do you think that these hard runners like Porter and Zenith are going to be able to make it to the end on those hards? They might be struggling by the end of the race. Oh, J. Cole might have lost the car. I think he did.
Yeah, J. Cole had a moment. It looks like he's under threat right now from General Porter. Let's get back to that. General Porter all over the back of J. Cole. This is huge for Gilzo. Can Porter find a way through? They're on equal tires here. Porter has a run. Is he close enough to outdo him under braking? No, he's not. Very close, but obviously the smart move is to get on the brakes and wait another lap. See if he can close that gap. J. Cole will be struggling with temperatures a little bit after a moment. This could be a shot for Porter once more, but he's going to have to do really well to keep with J. Cole through this lap. Get back to Lamaro. Starts to lose a little bit of ground to his teammate Rob here. He's got that DRS just barely, so closes. Yeah, Lamaro looks like he's just lost that DRS, so... We get back to the scrap between Zenith and Porter. And Zenith will be struggling to get by because Porter does have that DRS from J. Cole ahead. The good news for Zenith is that, God, really got to say, Adri, I think he made a brilliant decision pitting under that safety car for those hards because he's sitting in 7th right now, tucked in behind Zenith, Porter, and J. Cole. Looking at a potential 4th place finish here, and he's on even terms with them tire-wise. 10, 11, 10, 10, and then Gilza with 10 lap old hards ahead as well. So all these drivers are pretty much poised to go to I think they all have to go to the end, to be honest. I think the gaps behind, none of the guys behind are going to be really capable of catching them. Maybe RC with those fresh hards in 9th is maybe the best chance at closing the gap down if these guys start to squabble and start to cost each other time. RC has a really good shot at closing that gap in and coming in to fight as well. But I think realistically, all these guys on the 11 to 12 lap old hard tires, they need to stay out and go to the end of the races. Guys like Zamoglis, Bag of Bones, Johannes, they definitely need to pit again. But can they extend these hards to the point where they might be able to jump onto the softs for about 6 or 7 laps, finish the race on the softs, maybe in 7th, 6th place, something along those lines, with a fastest lap in the bag as well. That could help them out immensely. J. Cole all over the back of Bag of Bones here.
Watching Ryan right now, I'm curious what his strategy is. Is he trying to stretch those mediums into a soft run? Because... what?
Yeah, really. Yeah, he must be, because really, like, you're not going to be able to... there's no point going on the hards when there's only 14 laps to go, right?
Did he start the race on the softs? He might have.
I'm not too sure. Let's check the stops. He's got 1 stop, Ryan. So Ryan...
so he must have started on the softs. So he can put another pair of mediums on.
Bag of Bones pits. That releases J. Cole, but the gap to Gilzo now, 5.8 seconds to Gilzo ahead. So this is exactly what Gilzo needs. I don't know if you can, but if you don't mind checking the race director, maybe we can check for some penalties and see where these guys are, warnings, penalty-wise.
Yeah.
Zenith all over the back of Porter now, and Adri is closed on Zenith as well. So we're going to have a nice little 3-way scrap here for 4th place well, Gilzo and J. Cole look to go hunt down Johannes, who will be pitting relatively soon. I think Johannes in a great spot here. He's gained 10 places on those hards. If I'm Johannes, I think I would extend these hards. Even if Gilzo catches you, J. Cole catches you, let them go. Extend the hards as long as you can, get on the softs. You'll have so much more pace, you'll close any gap down that you may lose. You'll be able to fight for that fastest lap as well.
Yeah, so as far as penalties, it looks like Janet and General Porter are walking the line on getting a 3-second.
Right.
They're both on warnings, but J. Cole and Gilzo, neither of them have any warnings.
Okay, that's very interesting. So Gilzo and J. Cole on even terms here, no warnings. This could be a very good heads-up race. General Porter under pressure from Jinnit and Adri behind. Johannes pits. Let's see what he does. Goes onto the mediums, so he's going to have a nice, fresh set of mediums to really push towards the end of the race here. Where does he come out, Johannes? He looks like he might get RC here. Does he get RC? RC is going to be very close. He does get RC. Johannes on fresh mediums in 6. This is going to be excellent for Johannes. He has clear air ahead. He really only has Adri up on the road, and if he can catch Adri on these fresh mediums, which I think he might be capable of doing, he can fight for a podium here. He's very close.
Yeah.
He's
Especially
very close.
if General Porter and Janet pick up those 3-second time penalties, Johannes is going to be sitting in an excellent position.
Whoa. We have a moment somewhere. I heard the crowd go crazy. General Porter really under threat here from Jinnit and Adri. Jinnit has a bit of a moment. Adri's going to have a look now. Adri would love to get on the podium here today in his home country, rocking that Fernando Alonso tribute helmet, the blue and yellow, the sky blue and yellow, the Spaniard in Spain. Can he get onto the podium? He's all over the back of Jinnit and Porter. Looks like he had a bit of a moment there on the exit. He's going to lose a bit of pace to these two ahead.
And these hard tires that these guys are running on right now are going to be screaming by the end of the race. It's going to make for an interesting last few laps.
We
with
could
these guys sliding all over.
Yeah, we could definitely have a few moments towards the end of the race, so it's going to really be about who managed their tires better, who has more grip, who's keeping the temperatures under control. Rob goes with the fastest lap on the hards, 1:21.1. He is
tires.
closing.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's closing on Johannes. Will he be able to close? I'm not too sure with Johannes on those fresh mediums. He should eventually pick the pace up and get away. He's already taken about a 1.5 seconds out of Adri ahead, so Johannes in a prime position here to fight for a podium. He's going to be very, very close to it. Jinnit all over the back of Porter. Jinnit's been stuck behind Porter for quite some time here. This is a really good drive from Porter defensively to keep Jinnit behind, and it's really just kind of put Adri in no man's land. He's stuck there too because Jinnit can't find a way through. Adri is also stuck behind. Jinnit now as close as he has been for the last few laps. This is his best shot. Let's see if he can get a really good exit onto the main straight here. Can he get a run on Porter? He's got that DRS. Take a look at those battery differences. Not terribly different, so Jinnit not with a massive advantage he needs here. He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, he's got the power. He's closing, but he's not close enough. Can he get alongside? He cannot. General Porter defends for another lap here. And that is going to bring Johannes into play quite quickly if these two cannot find a way through.
Looking at the front of the pack right now, J. Cole is pulling about 4/10 a lap out of Gilzo's lead at the moment.
It's interesting.
But obviously, especially at this track, catching and passing are two very different things.
Yeah, exactly. As you can see here, Jinnit probably, I mean, based on qualifying, probably the quicker driver here, but just can't find a way through on Porter. Porter's pace is just enough to match him well enough that with that one DRS zone, it's just not close. It's not long enough to really make use of the DRS advantage and get the overtake done.
It
Jinnit
almost seems
again.
like Porter definitely might have a downforce advantage. He might be running less downforce. That's kind of keeping him in front.
Yeah, it seems to be helping him down the main street. He gets a really good exit, and then he seems to just kind of manage the gap even with the DRS. But Jinnet's very close here. This is probably the closest Jinnet's been. He's already very close, and he hasn't even opened the DRS. Smitsky's out via C, so... that's so frustrating. So frustrating for Jinnet.
And Johannes.
Finally gets a really good run on Porter here. He's close enough. I think he had him. Honestly, really think he had him on that run, and the VSC comes out. And that'll be enough for Porter. It might be enough for Porter to sit there and harvest some battery and maybe gain a bit more of an advantage over Jinnet ahead. Adri very close too. We're back under green flag racing conditions. It looks like yellow flags in sector 1, 2, and 3. Smitsky has left the session. Obviously, he's out of the race. Jinnet. Oh, we have a moment there for somebody. Rob has pit. GP Colin has pit. Why are these guys pitting?
I don't know. I think that they might have...
They tried to time the VSC thing and hoped it would work out.
It didn't work out.
Rob's put himself in a terrible spot now.
Yeah.
He was in a great position. Now he's nowhere. Bad decision there, in my opinion. Though
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the softs. He's not that far behind Ryan, who's not that far behind Zem. He can get back into the points, but can he get back to where he was running? Like Lamaro, I think is going to still finish ahead of him. All right, Jinnet. Yeah, he just seems like Porter just has a great exit every time, and he leaps like tenths out of Jinnet off of that exit, and then Jinnet just can't close it down on the straight. He's just not close enough. Adri's just stuck behind too. Can't do anything with it. Rob very close now. He's on the fresh softs. Ryan on the well, he's on fresh mediums, so I don't think he'd be much of a match for fresh softs at this point. So Rob looking for a way through. GP Colin is on fresh softs as well, but has a bit of a gap to work down before he can fight. Adri and Jinnet still very close to Porter. Still not finding a way through. Rob is passing Ryan down the inside into turn 1. I think he's going to have him here. So Rob gets through. He's on his way to the next car, which will be Zamoglis. Adri still stuck behind Jinnet. The Porter train is running late tonight.
He's sending
Porter with a huge bobble, and this is Jinnet's chance. He's been... Ooh, Porter covers him off. Jinnet was so tantalizingly close there. He must have thought about just sticking it down the inside, but
I think
good decision.
See that moment where these cars are starting to hit that the cliff's edge.
Yeah, exactly. And can Jinnet do something on the exit here to gain the advantage he needs down the straight? He just lost that gap again. He'd almost closed it. Porter struggling with the pace, but Jinnet's still not going to be close enough to make a move into turn 1. He's close as he's been.
Used his battery, too. He is going to have to harvest.
Yep. So Porter actually has a bit of an advantage in that department, where Adri's just kind of sitting behind, biding his time at this point. So Adri's sitting in a pretty good spot. Still 8 laps to go, so it's not like we're in dire straits yet. There's still plenty of time for something to happen here. But interesting to note, Bag of Bones is very close to the back of Lamaro here. So on fresh mediums. And then it's 19 seconds to RC. So I think Bag of Bones, once he passes Lamaro here, that'll be pretty much all his overtaking for the rest of the night. Can't see too much more happening at this point. Looks like we have Coxie all over the back of GP Colin here. Coxie takes the place on those medium tires. Around, down the inside, GP trying to maintain the position on the outside. Does so, goes deep. Coxie under with a switchback around the outside now. And GP seems to have the more grip and manages to maintain the position there. So, get back to Porter, RC. Sorry, Porter, Jinnet, and Adri.
Once again, Porter's going to hold him off.
Tantalizingly close, but what did we say a few laps ago? Did you notice who's coming in the background here?
Yep, he's filling the mirror.
Mr. Johannes has suddenly appeared. He's within 2 seconds of these guys now. Very close. So, Adri just gives a little nudge to Jinnet there. Just unsettles Jinnit a tad, but probably gets away with that. Adri doesn't cause any damage, doesn't really do any major harm to Jinnit either, so gets away with that. Looks like Rob has found a way through on Zimagos down the main straight, down the outside, sweeps across and takes the place. So Rob making quick work of the drivers ahead of him after coming out on those soft tires during the VSC pit stop. Adri very close to the back of Jinnit now. I think Jinnit's almost going to have to worry about defending as much as he's trying to overtake.
He is. Yeah, and Adri has played this very well, saving his battery
yes.
as Jinnit tries to get by, and is looking quite nice.
I think he's done quite well here, yeah. Let's see if any of these drivers can find the advantage they need. I think if Adri just turns... Oh,
Adri!
Oh, huge moment for Adri. And now Johannes all over the back of Adri. Is Johannes going to get him here? No, he's not, because of that DRS. It's not enough. Bag of Bones closing in on Lamaro.
General Porter picked up that 3-second time penalty, so that's
so advantage Jinnit at this point.
I'll check Jinnit's race director to see if he has it. And I think Jinnit is currently sitting without a penalty.
And that would probably improve Adri and Johannes as well. But Johannes now within the DRS of Adri, so Adri's going to be in big trouble here. He's going to have to focus on Johannes now rather than chasing Jinnit. He had a chance to get through and pass Jinnit only a lap ago, and now is going to be under threat from the driver behind Johannes on the fresh mediums, well, fresher mediums. Certainly 7-lap-old mediums I would take over 20-lap-old hards at this point.
Certainly, especially on low fuel.
Yeah. Johannes making quick work of that gap. He's really chopped it down. Adri has got back within the DRS range of Jinnit, who is still being held up by Porter. So Adri has a big moment there, but manages to keep the car right, and now is back in striking distance again. This is going to be a 4-way scrap for the final podium position here in the EU tier. This is going to be an excellent finish to this race. J. Cole has also chopped the gap to Gilzo down to 1.7, so it's going to be a pure slugfest to the end for the final podium positions. 1, 2, 3, all up for grabs at this point. Rob has caught his teammate Lamaro, so maybe the pit stop did pay off. We questioned it, but if he passes his teammate Lamaro, I think he's back to where he was and has a chance at the fastest lap, possibly. So maybe not a bad idea overall. He's definitely not catching our seat. Oh, huge moment! Jinnit out! Jinnit is out!
No.
He has lost the car straight into the barrier, and the wheel is off. Jinnit out of the race. Huge crash. He was in a great spot. He was following Porter for ages and ages, and those tires maybe just died on him. Unfortunate for Jinnit. That's a huge, huge disappointment for him. Potential podium to now getting nothing.
Yeah, that's a rough one for Jinnit. And J. Cole has got to be very upset to see that VSC right out.
Johannes's path to the podium just got a whole lot easier. He's got 2 cars ahead on old hard tires that are dying, and he's got 4 laps to get the move done here.
Oh, Adri might be making a move here.
Adri's got a move on Porter here. He's got an advantage with that DRS. Here it comes. Why is there DRS? Did we just had a VSC, did we not?
Yeah, that was a little interesting. Oh,
Porter!
Oh, no, Johannes does an amazing job to miss him.
RC suddenly now is possibly going to finish ahead of Porter. Huge collision there between Adri and Porter. I don't know really who to blame there. I didn't really catch who was at fault or who had the better run or line.
Porter had a lot of room on the inside of the track. There was obviously nothing malicious in it. I think it was probably just a racing incident, but it'd be nice to have a replay.
Huge. It's exactly what you were saying. These hard tires are going to be so deadly by the end of the race. We're going to see things like that happen. We see Jinnit crash into the wall, tear his wheel off, and then not even a lap later, Porter and Adri go wheel to wheel, and Porter goes 360ing on the exit of turn 1. Johannes is all over Adri here.
Yeah, he's going to feel like a sitting boat down straightaway with no DRS and those really old hard tires coming off that final chicane.
And Johannes has got 3 laps to get this move done as well, so it's pretty much done for Adri here. I would say, normally I would say don't fight it, but there's no way Porter behind is catching you, so I would fight it all you can.
Yeah.
The fight tooth and nail to keep him behind. Everything you've got to keep Johannes behind. But if Johannes is smart and he picks his lines properly, all he has to do is bait Adri into a defensive line. He can gain a lot more traction on an exit and pass him quite smoothly, I feel.
Wow, interesting at the front of the grid. J. Cole might be in DRS range coming around this next lap.
It looks like he's close. It's like he is very close for sure. Johannes still very close to the back of Johannes here. Or sorry, Adri. Can he find a way through? Adri doesn't have that extra DRS advantage of the like the other cars did when they were running behind so closely. Zamaglis here is very close to Lamaro and poised to make up another place here on the fresher mediums. It's a good return for Zamaglis.
It is, yeah.
I don't know if he's even made it to an EU race yet. He's missed most of them.
might have him here. I think Adri is just going to have to let this one go.
Adri will have to let this one go. Johannes all over the back end with that DRS with those medium tires, and J. Cole is within 5/10 of Gilzo at the front. So now that Johannes has found a way through, he is taking the last podium position. Make sure he gets this move done and secures it. Adri looking to fight it back, but not quite close enough and losing time quickly. Johannes gets that move done. Let's jump to the front runners here. It's down to the final 2 laps between J. Cole and Gilzo. Who has more tire life? Both tires. You can see J. Cole has got blisters all over those hards. Surely Gilzo in the same boat. Actually, Gilzo's tires look a little fresher, to be honest. Gilzo's. Zem has lost it.
Yeah, coming up the final turn.
Zem has lost it. He has crashed the car. It is over for Zamaglis. He drops out of the points. Unfortunate. He was having a pretty good run there. So J. Cole now very close, knocking at the door. He's all over the back of Gilzo here. Who has the advantage? They're pretty much on even terms here. No one with a real advantage battery or fuel-wise. Let's see if J. Cole can get it done on pure race pace. There's Zamaglis parked on the exit. Oh, J. Cole with a massive exit here. Gilzo is under threat. Gilzo is under threat. He is not going to be able to defend this. J. Cole has cleared him into turn 1. No problem. Excellent move from J. Cole there. He takes the lead of the race. Finally, after 33 laps, J. Cole retakes the lead.
And Adri got past Johannes again. How did that happen?
Oh, Johannes must have had a moment. Adri under threat here from Johannes once more. Will something change here? Can Johannes get by Adri before the end of the lap? He's got that 1 DRS zone, and it's a very short one, so he's going to have to be right up the gearbox of Adri if he wants to find a way through before the checkered flag. It looks like it's going to be a very close finish here between J. Cole and Gilzo. Gilzo is not going to have enough down this DRS zone to close it on J. Cole. J. Cole's got him covered. Johannes with a big moment. And that's going to pull him out of reach of Adri. So Adri will secure the podium here. Starting from, what, 18th place or so?
18th, yes.
Starting from last place in his home race, Adri looks poised for a podium finish here. Johannes closing once more, but not going to be close enough. J. Cole will cross the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix, his 4th race win in a row to start the EU tier season. Gilzo comes home in 2nd. Adri exiting the final chicane, swings it down the final turn to come home on the podium in his home race. Great drive from Adri tonight. Johannes with an excellent drive as well, comes home in 4th place. He should be proud of that. RC in 5th, and General Porter coming home just behind him in 6th place. Rob now quite a ways behind, still has a few corners to go before he brings it home, and he will be finishing in 7th place this evening. In his first, I think this is his first drive in the full-time seat, so these points will count towards his Constructors' Championship with his teammate Lamaro tucked in behind in 8th place. So good points for the Toro Rosso team tonight. Rob in 7th, Lamaro crosses the line in 8th. Ryan bringing it home in 9th in the Ferrari. He'll be the only Ferrari scoring points this evening. Bag of Bones in the Mercedes, bringing it home in 10th. Frank Lucas with an excellent debut tonight. Had some really good racing up at the front. He's under threat from Coxey here. Coxey looking for a better exit into the final turn. Coxey has a lot more traction, but is he going to be close enough towards the finish line? I don't think he is. Frank Lucas finishes ahead of Coxey. Coxey with some time penalties drops a little further back, and GB Collin wraps it up in 13th. And I think he actually jumped Coxey as well in time penalties. Yep. So GB Collin in 12th. And then quite a few DNFs at the back of the field. We'll review the full order shortly. See the podium finishers. Excellent drive from J. Cole. That must have just crushed Gilzo's spirits. He led the entire race, and on the final lap, J. Cole just came storming through. There was nothing Gilzo could do.
Yeah, Gilzo, surprising that J. Cole was able to make up so much time at the end there, but...
he just put the hammer down. It seemed like he did. Almost like he had like a NOS boost or something down that straight. Yeah. He just flew by him.
I couldn't believe it. You don't see moves like that at Spain, but
I have to say, my driver of the day, though, obviously J. Cole and Gills will put on a hell of a show at the front, but my driver of the day has to be Adri. Started 17th and finished on the podium in his home race. Adri, the Spaniard, with the podium finish. Excellent call, hitting onto those hard tires during that safety car, going right to the end. Yeah. Johannes in 4th. Yes.
Yeah, I think the only other driver of the day shout would probably have to go to Johannes, but he definitely nips it.
Rob as well. Rob as well in his debut, 18th to 7th. Yeah. So Johannes 4th, RC 5th, General Porter 6th, Rob 7th, Lamaro in 8th, Ryan in 9th, Bagbones 10th, Frank Lucas in his debut as a reserve just misses out on the points, but still a good showing for him tonight. Did some good wheel-to-wheel racing. GB Collin 12th, Coxey 13th, Samagos 14th, Jinnit 15th, Smitsky 16th, Fuzz 17th, and Beck 18th. All those drivers at the bottom DNF'd. So that was a hell of a race. We've had some
great.
We've had some excellent EU races so far.
That was
only our fourth
one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Sure. That was excellent. I just felt like I just couldn't stop. Like the whole race, there was something going on. I couldn't stop really. Calling what was out there, but
yeah, they were great battles. And it was a very clean race too. A lot of interesting moments, but there wasn't too much questionable driving going on out there.
No, there was a little bit of bumping and grinding, a little wheel to wheel. There wasn't anything too egregious though. I think everything was within the realm of what we would consider reasonable.
Yes.
You know, there was some bumps and shoves, but there wasn't anything terribly ugly or terribly dirty. So I don't think the stewards, you know, I think there might be a couple incidents to look at, but nothing. I don't think there was anything major handed out from tonight's race. It was overall a pretty good race. Wheel-to-wheel wise, incident-wise, quite a few safety cars, obviously, but you know, it's one of those tracks. We had the same thing Monday night, and it's one of those tracks where the safety car comes out pretty often. There's a lot of places where drivers just struggle. You know, you could be having a perfect race for 28 laps, and then one corner you just, you know, you throw your car in, you hit a bump a little awkwardly, and you hit the gas a little too early, and all of a sudden the car's gone, and you're in the wall. It's really easy to lose it here.
Yep, Spain definitely bites hard when you take a little too much out of it.
Yeah, exactly. But
next week we're onto a track that bites very hard if you make mistakes. So that'll be a very fun race.
Yeah, good segue. So next week we are on to Spa, and that is right before. Yep. That's just before our summer break in Tier 1 and Tier 2. There won't be a summer break for the EU tier. So this week we've got Monday, Thursday night, and Sunday evening next week. We'll have the Belgian Grand Prix from Spa-Francorchamps. And then the following week, Tier 1 and Tier 2 will be on a break week. There won't be any official races during that. We may have a stream for you and maybe some exhibition races, just some stuff for fun during the off week for whoever's around. And then the EU tier will actually have a Grand Prix. I believe it's the British Grand Prix because we did that first in Tier 1 and Tier 2, and because it's the EU tier, we decided we would give them the British Grand Prix during our break week. So there won't be a break in the EU tier. There will be a British Grand Prix the week after the Belgian Grand Prix while Tier 1 and Tier 2 take a break. So that's our schedule for the next couple of weeks. Spa is an excellent track. I think it's so much fun. Everybody seems to love it. There's always excellent racing there. Really looking forward to it this week. I'm looking forward to racing tomorrow night and then also calling the Thursday night race next week. And hopefully I'll be back for the EU tier on the Sunday as well.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting week at Spa. I'm just hoping to keep it on the track. We'll see what happens. Always an interesting race, so
yeah, for sure.
What's going to happen.
And we haven't had any rain yet in Tier 1, which is shocking. I don't think any of our sessions we've had rain at all. So
I know.
If it's coming, it's gotta be this weekend if it's coming, I think. So could be a very interesting race tomorrow night.
I'm
in Tier
crossing
1.
my fingers.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me once again, Harry.
Yeah, of course.
Well, hopefully we'll see you back here the next couple races, and it's always a pleasure to have you in the booth. We had a good time.
Yep.
All right. We will wrap it up. That has been the EU tier. That was round 4 of Zenith Online Racing. Thanks for tuning in.